Well, it's game week 29 nearly out of the 38 done for the Premier League. The weeks are counting down. Well, we're getting near that dreaded summer period, but we've all got to find something to do. And it's been another eventful weekend of Premier League football. Shaun is joining me as always. Shaun, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Just been out for a little bit of evening meal with the family and rushed back for your show. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much indeed for joining me. There is no Josh this week. We couldn't quite afford him. No, I'm joking. So, yeah, Josh is not here this week, but I'm sure we'll get him back very, very soon. Right, Shaun, are you ready for this, right?
Yeah, he's gone big time, hasn't he? That's because Villa are on a little bit of a run there. He's gone big time.
Yeah, he has. He has. Exactly. You know, if you can, up into the top half and off he goes, isn't it?
I think we'll come on to Villa, but I'm pretty sure since their manager coming, isn't it like third best sort of runs behind City and Liverpool or something like that?
Really well.
Not Liverpool, sorry, Arsenal.
Yeah. They are doing. We were talking at Liverpool. That is where we will start, and I'll start with you, of course. Man City 4, Liverpool 1. Then 1-0 up, and then it all went to pot.
Yeah, remember we said a while ago. It's the most stupid comment ever, but remember we said that City might be better without Haaland, even though he's got all these goals. They look good. That's one of the best I've seen them look for most of the season. I think I thought they looked very impressive. Liverpool, they got the early goal, like you said. I think the commentators sort of said it and covered it. As soon as I think City got the second goal, you almost seen all the confidence and hope deflate out at Liverpool a little bit.
Yeah.
And we haven't been used to that, have we? I think, in fact, didn't Klopp say that in an interview? Like, I'm sure I seen him sat in the dugout before a kickoff. He sort of said something very similar, that he couldn't quite put his finger on it. Maybe they didn't believe as much. But yeah, they're not the team they were. City looked very good. I don't know whether it's, obviously had Alvarez up front, didn't they? Whether it's him or just they suit a player that can drop in rather than a target man. They look good. It's the best they've looked for a while. My father-in-law's downstairs. That's why he's come to visit. I haven't seen him for about 2 months. He's a City fan. They're from up north. And I said to him, and I said to my lad when we watched the game, with City when they're in that sort of form, because they keep the ball so well, and Liverpool didn't really pressure them. You could switch off for 10 minutes, look away, have a chat with your family, and look back. Oh, we've still got the ball. And Liverpool, I think the second half, Liverpool didn't touch the ball for ages. It was just pass. I know we want to. Everyone's hammering Trent. Defensive-wise, he's probably lucky to be in the Premier League. I know that might sound over the top to some people, and I know his assist record's incredible. But when that's all very good going forward, when your assists, when you're a confident attacking team like Liverpool were when they won the league, when they challenged City for those couple of seasons before. But when you're not a good team and you're struggling, you need a right back who's going to do the basics, and it
kicks in then, doesn't it? Because I think there was no sort of real mention of anything to do with Trent when they were flying, but all of a sudden those mistakes are being highlighted even more, and he's being exposed even more. Let's see who we've got in the chat this evening. Mandy, hope you are well. Terry as well. Hope you are well, sir. Shaun, how are you? How are you liking the new surroundings? We've jazzed things up a bit.
I was going to comment about that, but you cutting me off. I know I talk too much sometimes. I thought I was going to jump in and mention him. I thought we'd let you have your moment. It's looking very professional. I'm waiting for like Jim White or someone like that to come on, or Paul Merson to bump me off the side or something like that. It does look very good. I like it.
Well, you'd start slagging it off. It was Jim White because you don't like it.
I know,
because you don't like Talksport.
I know, but he's got Simon Jordan on Talksport, and I am a big fan of what he.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's all okay.
But yeah, I do like the graphics, mate. It looks very professional, really good. You're obviously earning too much money on this now, so you can afford to pay your guests now, I think.
Right, yeah, okay. We'll have that sort of meeting over a meal somewhere. Dad'll pay for. Mandy says, can Spurs win tonight, Shaun? And are they worth the better evens?
It's an impossible one to predict because obviously Conte's gone. Some of the players obviously weren't happy. Some have come out and said they were happy. The strange thing is they've kept his assistant on. Apparently, they've told his assistant he's not even in line to keep the job long term. I'm very confident whenever Conte gets his next job, probably at Inter Milan again, he'll go with him. It's an odd one. I don't know. I also, as you know, I quite rate Dyche, what he's doing at Everton. He's had 3-1-0. I know he hasn't got points in every game, but he's had 3-1-0 victories at home. One of them against Arsenal, one against Leeds. I'm not sure what the other one was. I honestly have not got a clue what to expect. He's brought Lloris back in. I wouldn't have done it. I think Forster's done well. He's also got back in the England squad. I know that probably highlights how poor our options are in the squad. But he hasn't done a lot wrong. So
there we go.
The honest answer to the Mandy is I have not got a clue what to expect. We could go third.
Well,
I have no idea.
We're all going to find out, and I think that we are all as a fan base hoping that you do us a favour tonight. And for once, we're hoping you don't do a Spursy. Right, let's rattle through some of the irrelevance then, shall we? That's better.
Yeah.
Oh well. Bournemouth 2, Fulham 1. I'll do this one. But Bournemouth, they keep picking up these results when they're probably not expected to really pick up anything. We've been huge fans of Fulham on this channel this season, and Mitrovic and a couple of the others, of course, were missing due to their 5 minutes of madness up at Old Trafford. And I didn't see the game. I watched the Palace Leicester game, but from what I saw of highlights and stuff, Bournemouth, they've got a bit of energy there, and they're back at home tomorrow night against Brighton, which is another difficult game, but they'll fancy themselves to hopefully maybe, well, not for us, maybe pick up a point there. So Bournemouth, they're on the up. They seem to have a couple of brilliant performances and a really dire one. So yeah, they're a side that are going to go up and down. They're going to have their ups and downs still left in this season, but at the moment, they're looking quite good. And Fulham, just a little bit of a downfall, and of course that's going to continue on Saturday when we beat them.
They've got no Mitrovic, have they? He's done for the season, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be an interesting one, I think. So who knows? But we've got Newcastle before then, so we'll worry about that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Everybody's saying a little hello to each other, so I'll let you continue on with that. Sharky says boring game yesterday, at least West Ham won. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Nice 2 hours of your life that was, Shaun.
I thought we said you would get onto that in a minute.
Yeah, we will. Next up, Arsenal 4, Leeds United 1. Back, they keep on going, Shaun.
Yeah, just going to jump back to that Fulham game a minute. You said you got them. You said you got them in a few next weekend. Did you say? They're starting at the moment. Carlos Vinicia, that we used to have on loan at Tottenham. We used to call him the human tree. So his movement is very, very limited. You probably can't remember him, or some of your fans might not remember what he's like. There's not a lot of movement there. Okay, right. So that's something to bear in mind when your team selection goes up. Right, this game, I actually had I shouldn't say this. I had the option to watch all the Saturday games at 3:00. Chose this one, I haven't watched Arsenal loads for 90 minutes. But obviously, I got to try and watch the Leeds games. Do you know what? I'm a moany old git this season with the Premier League. I'm not a fan of it for quality-wise. And I watched Arsenal. They didn't blow me away. They won 4-1. They did not blow me away at all. Leeds had a go. It reminded me, sort of cup ties you get where you have a championship side against a Premier League side who make a few changes and sort of go get the win in like third gear. Yeah. It reminded me of one of them, really. Like Leeds, huffed and puff. You know what you get with Leeds. They got a few flashy players who can do a trick or two. Arsenal just sort of, I don't know whether they were just, it sounds stupid saying an off day at 4-1. Do you know what I mean? But they didn't blow me away. They didn't take them to pieces. It looked very easy in a way for Arsenal. They had the penalty. I thought it was a penalty. I know certain people said it was a bit soft, but it sort of leg went up and Aylin sort of put his hand on his head. Like, why did I do that? Like a bit of a brain fart moment. You know what I mean? It reminded me of one of them a little bit, but it didn't. Watching it, I didn't think, oh, this team's going to win the title, which I think they still will. But I didn't watch. I think this is champions elect. I looked at Leeds and I thought the team selection was very random by Leeds, by the way. Real strange. It was almost like, if you go Arsenal way, a lot of the lower teams will look at it as like a free hit. I don't know whether he looked at it and thought, right, I've got 3 key injuries. I think he was missing Wober, their best centre-back. Godonto were probably their best forward. And Tyler Adams was missing as well. So he looked at that. Three of his better players are out. It almost looked like he rested players because he rested, obviously, Bamford not in the best form. Rodrigo, their best striker, I said last week. Remember I said he'd get the goals, maybe to keep him up. Didn't start him. I think they put a winger up front. So it almost looked like, right, it's a free hit. We're going to have a go. Almost like they didn't even believe they'd win it. But it was a weird game. Like 4-1 makes it look like the...
So some nice crunching tackles in there, Shaun.
Yeah, sort of, but it was a weird game. I can't really describe it any more than that. Like at 4-1, you look at it and think, oh, the bandwagon keeps going with Arsenal after Man City's victory. But Leeds, almost like they didn't believe they could get anything before it even kicked off. But and that sort of sucked them back in. But if you look at Leeds' next couple of games, if that was his plan, it kind of makes sense if it comes off. Because they're playing probably the worst away team in the league at home next. I think it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday,
I think at home the Forest. So let's see what goes on. But the title race is still on. But Arsenal, yeah, it's a win. It's a good win. But they didn't blow me away for style. Not at all.
There we go. Okay, you're getting a bit of abuse tonight, Shaun. Evening, where's the little man? Shaun is here. No, the little man, we couldn't quite afford him. They've got up into the top 10, and then I started getting flipping numbers thrown at me. No, I'm only joking. Josh could not be with us tonight, unfortunately, and they're saying that you're lying on a yoga mat. I'm sure you're not.
No, this is my bedroom, mate. I know you said before this is a sofa. This is the back of my bed. This is. Yeah. Don't look at the wallpaper. The missus wants to get that ripped off. That's my job for this summer.
Do you not like the wallpaper?
But no,
Do you not like it?
She wants to go swankier. She wants to go well, she gets bright ideas looking on Instagram. You know what the women are like.
Well, next season, I can't wait to see that.
Doing this next season, or are you still wobbling whether we're going to do it if you drop down? I don't know. Are we doing it?
We won't be doing. No, Shaun, you're going to have to broaden your horizons. We're doing the championship round that show.
You're going to send me some cheap links to support Hull or something like that. Hull in the league? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out next year. Anyway. Next up, Brighton 3, Brentford 3. On the Soccer Saturday show I did on the 24-hour food bank watch along over on the West Ham network on Saturday. Phil had this game, and the goals just kept coming in the first half, and it was a game between those sides battling maybe to get that all-important Conference League spot, and it ended in a 3-3 draw. Can't really say too much more about it. Two sides that have looked good this season, coming up against each other, and a point in the end. I think it was a last-minute goal to equal things up. I think was it. Where I can't remember. One of them scored in the last minute. Let's find out who it was.
I did. Clive, Brentford Clive. I think I've seen his Facebook post, almost like they didn't deserve a single thing. So to score 3 goals and get a point, I think they were overjoyed. I don't know if they equalised late or not, but
no. Brighton with a penalty. Alexis McAllister equalised on the 90th minute to get themselves a viable point probably for them, and it sort of leaves the Premier League table looking at Brighton in 6th and Brentford in 7th, level on points with Brighton with a couple of games in hand, of course. So yeah, definitely still one to keep an eye on, that little battle there. Next up, Forest 1, Wolves 1, Shaun.
Yeah, Wolves equalised about 70-ish minute. Yeah, I'm starting. I know every single week we say, we can't relegate anyone yet. We don't know what's going to happen. I think I've said for a while, I think Forest, you might have even said you relegated Forest last week. I can't remember. But I think I said that Forest home form would keep them up. I want to say they've dropped points in their last 2 home games now.
Yeah. Was it Newcastle in this one?
Yeah, it's they're sort of hitting the buffers a little bit. I think they spoke a few times about tactics. Did you not play him at home the other week?
Yeah,
and you rolled him over really easily. And my lot played him at home the other week, and we rolled him over very easily. They look like a side that were relying on home form. But when you do that, if that is true, it's hard for teams to. I said to you about your lot when you play in the Europa League, playing against lesser sides and coming back. It's hard to turn it on, then turn it off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do that. And now maybe they're suffering because they had a brilliant home record. I think their home record is about about mid table. The home record was,
Mm.
but if you keep going away, almost sort of thinking, we don't, and down in tools, so then you almost get the position where you're only caring about a game every 12, 13, 14 days.
Yeah,
that's dodgy. And it seemed, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just being dumb, but that's how it seemed for like a couple of months what they've been doing. And now at home, they're not getting the performances, they're not getting the results. And their Cooper, their manager, I've read apparently now he's one of the next ones under threat of losing the job. I don't see the point in that. I think it's probably too late for him, too late for them. Sorry, as well as it is your lot. I don't know. I am starting to worry about them more now because if they're not getting the home results against the teams around them, then I don't know where they're going to get the points at all. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, because they've still got 6 away games left. So if they're still going to put them to the side, that's 6 games where they're going to go,
Can't
well,
do that anymore. That's what
No.
I mean. They can't do that now. Now they've dropped points in the last 2 home games. I know Newcastle are starting to hit a bit of form again because Newcastle's form's dropped off a bit. Now it's back. Home to Wolves, that would have been a game where Cooper would have thought, right, we'll win this one. We'll plan our whole fortnight around this game. We'll win this. We'll get the points. They didn't. So now maybe they've got to rethink it and they got points, get points away. I don't think their running's the greatest. I am worrying about them now. Their home form's gone a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. Yeah, and I think it was after the game yesterday, I sort of put on all last week the 3 teams that I predict to go down, and obviously I think I said Leicester. I think I said Leicester. Leicester Forest and either one of Southampton and West Ham, and I put that dependent on yesterday's results. So, yeah, of course we'll get on to Southampton a little bit later, but.
Yeah, same with Wolves though. Like they're still down there. Like they're level on Forest. So we shouldn't. I think with Wolves, I can remember. Well, we both said it. You lost it there, didn't you? When you went up there, didn't you? And you said, "Oh, they'll be fine." And all your fans said they'll be fine, but they're not clawing away from it.
Yeah, they are. They are. They're 1 point above us, and we've got 2 games on them.
Yeah, it's almost like I think on paper they've got a few players that they are good players on paper. A few they've got. Get again a bit like your lot, so you automatically look and think, oh, they'll be fine, but they're not getting the results. Like Leeds went and turned them over big style the other week. Do you know what I mean? So and they brought in a manager. Is it Postacog? Not Postacog. That's a Celtic manager. Who they've got again? The other one that was in Spain. Their manager.
Oh, I forgot his name. It's gone.
The other one with a long name. He come in. We think flashy name. He's got a little bit of a CV. I do rate a few of their players, but they're not getting the results. They're just that's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. they're not getting the results. So I know I started off by knocking Forest, but Wolves, it's not a great result for them, really.
No, and I've said and I said it with our game. I said it with a couple of games and the next one as well. Point doesn't really do any side any favours. The game I did watch for Soccer Saturday was this one: Crystal Palace 2, Leicester 1. Now this was a game of very few chances and not much quality in there at all. There was sort of a 5-minute exciting spell, and it pretty much summed up with that, and a little bit of excitement at the end when Crystal Palace scored the goal, and it was quite weird seeing Roy Hodgson on the touchline again. All it is, he's aged a little bit and he's got a pair of glasses now. But yeah, I didn't really think any side deserved to win it. If I was to pick a winner, it probably would have been Crystal Palace. But the bigger picture, of course, they got the win, but they lost Wilfried Zaha to what looked like quite a nasty injury in this game. Just before half time, he got taken off and it didn't look great at all, to be honest. So of course that's a major a major issue now for Crystal Palace in that sense, because up until that point he was their best attacking outlet. And Leicester, and I know Chris from Leicester Till I Die is in the chat, and of course Rodgers got sacked today in the end, or yesterday, whenever it was. It reminded me a lot of watching West Ham. It really did. I saw so many similarities. If they sat back, they didn't, they were hesitant to go forward and have a go, whereas Crystal Palace, I thought at times got the ball on the wings and just sort of tried to invent something. Leicester, there was just no real creativity there, and yeah, two brilliant goals inside 5 minutes. One banged in to open it up, and then the free kick. Fortunate in the end to go off the keeper and go back in, but a goal's a goal. And then I thought the geezer was offside, but a straight through ball and a nice finish, I think, from Mateta to finish things off for Palace, and gain them a massive 3 points. Chris says he's gone. Thank God we got rid of him. See you next Tuesday. Yes.
Thing is, Jake, well, Brendan's been linked to us now, like the same as every.
Do you want him?
No, I wouldn't. But Levy's loved him for a long time. He's tried to get him a couple of times, but the thing is, Brendan, I think whenever he does a good job, whenever the job starts to go wrong, he likes to point the finger at other people around the club.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about this. I got a funny feeling when it's going wrong, if the dressing room goes bad, he's not the type of manager to rally the troops, arms around shoulders. I think he's quite a selfish manager. So I think they probably did the right thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if they probably left it. I don't think they've left it late. They probably left it too long. I do still think they'll probably be okay. Which again, back to the Wolves thing. I'm looking at their team and thinking, oh, they'll be okay. There's no guarantees. But like I said, Brendan Rodgers, I think he's got that ego. I think he's well known in the game. He's got that ego. I don't think he's going to put himself first. Basically, that's what he's going to do. They've got rid of him. I think they may have got rid of him a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that when they beat Tottenham, he's the only team they've beaten in God knows how long. That probably kept him in the job. Yeah, in a false sort of capacity. I don't know. I put them in the same bracket as Wolves. They should be okay. You should be okay, but I wouldn't put money on it. I wouldn't put money on it. Do you know what I mean?
Would I? Right then, I now want you to do your best Josh impersonation. Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 2, and I want the accent. No, I'm only joking.
I can't do an accent. No, my wife would kill me if I do a Scouse accent. She's from that part of the world, right. Not a Scouse one, so she'd kill me if I did a Scouse accent.
Go on then, far away.
What game's this again? I've lost track.
Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 2. How much did you have to drink at the pub, Shaun?
I'm going on the Coke. I went on the Coke.
On the Coke, all right.
But obviously Potter's gone, hasn't he? Again, like their new owner came in. He came in when I was on holiday in September. He's now on his third manager this season. Whoever's in charge of the next game, 600 million down. I looked at the squad, the team they put out. My old football manager, he's been livid of it. I said, look, Potter, it was a ridiculous job for him to take. I'm shocked he took it. From going from Brighton, where it was a brilliant club, brilliant owner, brilliant scouting system. He probably had lots of saves coming in. He's been just scattergunned all these players. I don't believe for a second he's had any say whatsoever who's come in. Some of them are good. Some of them are. He's had to try and just play because they paid 80 million for him. Like this Mudryk that Arsenal went for 80 million. He looked dreadful for Ukraine against England. He was clean through twice, I think, against Villa. Looked like a player void of confidence. He's playing a back three, players out of position. He's got no striker still. Obviously, they just chucked him Aubameyang, who fell out with him straight away because we all know he's an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like, the owner's doing that. So whoever comes in next, I wouldn't hold my breath. They're going to be a success. I think it might take 2 or 3 windows. But Villa, brilliant win. Watkins, great finish with the first. Oh, both goals are great. McGinn, great little hit. Yeah, they were a little bit against the run of play. But I did see the stats. It's a very interesting thing with this Potter again. Obviously, he's been sacked. Everyone gets sacked gets linked to Tottenham. The match stats in that game and Chelsea's quite often match stats is they have a lot of the ball. They have quite a lot of chances. Cannot score for love nor money. Very, very similar to how they were. Potter was at Brighton. That was exactly what it was. And the weird thing is, they spent. This is a coincidence. This one, it must be. Chelsea spent all that money, no striker. Potter at Brighton, brilliant team, no striker. So it's like.
I tell you what, though, I do agree with you within the fact is I don't know why Potter took the job. He was building something quite big at Brighton. Why he went to that absolute disaster class at Chelsea, I've got no idea. And to be fair, he's probably looking back at it now, going, he's getting 20 million in his bank account this week.
It was all the signs when they obviously the new owner come in. I think within about a month he fallen out with Thomas Tuchel, fallen out with him. Then he started just chucking money around left, right, and centre. He had all the signs just to avoid it, especially on this appointment, because I think he's not even, is he 50, early 50s, something like that. There was no
old,
rush.
is he?
He's not much older than 50, is he? I don't think.
Like Graham Potter. They won't tell me now. Go on, oh God, what's Google doing there? Go on, just talk for a minute.
Yeah, it seemed like he was in no rush to leave Brighton. Like, I think I said, we've been doing this a couple of years now, and I said he was a name that myself and a lot of Tottenham fans had an eye on for maybe replace a manager down the line. He was in no rush. It was almost like he could wait for the right club. He'll probably get the right club again. I think he's a respected coach. I can see him going somewhere like Leicester if they stay up. But
47.
I don't know. He's how old? Sorry,
47. No, 45.
The baby.
Exactly.
Just to go there so young, and I know now they're linked to Nagelsmann, who Tottenham are linked to, and he's only 35, Nagelsmann. I don't know. I just don't think it's obviously they're big managers love a club with lots of money, but I don't think it's an attractive job at the moment. Maybe in 18 months when the owner gets a good director of football and knows what he's doing. They've spent an absolute overpaid for absolute unproven players. Like even Enzo midfield, he had a brilliant World Cup, 120 million. Where's that come from?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They bought is it Fofana, the centre back from Leicester? He had a good season or two, 80 million. He's barely kicked the ball for him.
They buy all these fancy players, like, and a few that nobody's ever heard of come in, and it's just, he's come in and he's absolutely, been given a nightmare. Right, I just need to address a couple of things. Right, I'm getting the pelters now. Do you not have a window in your bedroom? I do, but it's nearly dark. Right, I do have a window. It's there. Don't worry. I don't know whether I can. You can see light. There is light. I do have a window. Right.
I'm just looking at my suntan. It's like I've caught the sun today. It's like a bit on holiday.
Right. Second thing, these holidays now, you get 3 weeks off your posh school. Right. You've been listening to Adam Frankel too much. I don't go to a posh school, and I've got 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Good. All right. That's that. That's that addressed. Right. There's no lock on the outside. I don't live in a shed. I don't live in a cupboard. You know that full well, Terry. Lukaku back in the summer. Deary me. Mandy says, any news on Skamaka? Jake knows a few of Moyes. I have not got a clue.
Forget him. Done.
Right, come on, let's talk about it then.
I genuinely mean that to all of you. The position you're in now, I literally forget him. I don't think he's going to kick a ball for you much this season. You're going to do what you're going to do. I would just. Did he change his agent this week as well? Did I see?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. I'm maybe speculating a little bit, but I think it was mentioned a few weeks ago in the press he probably wanted to go back, regretted the move. I'm at the stage, if I was Hammers fans, I'd be starting to not start putting him in my mind when it comes to team selections. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would start I hope for you boys and girls it turns right, but how he is, how he's looked on the field, I would start thinking, put him right at the back of my mind. I'd have him out of it.
There we go. That's Shaun's top tip in terms of the game. Then, well, it wasn't great, was it at all? It was the typical, I thought, edgy relegation 6-pointer sort of game where no team looked great at all, and it was just down to who was going to convert one of their very few chances in front of goal, and that was us in the end completely. I suppose you could say along the run of play from a set piece that we flagged off all year. It was a good ball into the box from the player that's been poor all year. You've got to give him credit. Yesterday, I thought he played quite well, Tilo Kehrer, at right back. Put the ball into the box once they'd had their meal and had a drink and got themselves ready. They made the VAR decision. And it was declared not offside, and we got the goal. Had a couple of chances Southampton, but I thought they were okay. But in front of goal, it just all fell apart for them. Shaun, it wasn't a great game to watch. I tell you, I don't know who put that up to be on Super Sunday, but they need to be sacked.
First of all, very good 3 points.
Yeah.
I'll start with the positives. I think we said about 6 weeks ago, Moyes is going to stake the place out and try and gain points there, wins there. Probably around the time that we beat you at our place. Remember we said that did you go with Newcastle and get a point? Yeah. And we sort of decided you had this little run of tough games. So we got a couple of points. Now you're beating the teams around you. I seen your vlog the other day. Oh, it was a bad game, mate. It was a bad game. From a Southampton perspective, we've been refusing the relegated team, haven't we, a little bit, saying everyone's got a chance. Based on that, I am relegating Southampton today, and you can call me back if we get it wrong. I actually thought they were marginally be the better footballing team in the game, but that is probably because they were the team that wanted to try playing the most football. Does that make sense? Like that doesn't mean to say they probably on the eye they're the better team, but that was Moyes' tactics. But around whenever they got near the box, was it Mara up front? He's the youngster they signed, way out of his depth. You don't survive Premier League football unless you've got someone up front that can at least put herself about. And he just didn't look up for it at all. I think they tried to link him and Walcott up a little bit. Didn't happen. As for West Ham, the goal was the goal. I think it was a brilliant header. The marking was abysmal. Do you know what I mean? It's real shocking. The VAR thing, I was chatting to your dad earlier. It went on forever because if you're at home, it's almost like it wasn't working. You know, they try and get these lines up. They kept like zooming the camera in and out. Like, oh, let's have a closer look. Let's try and wait for these lines, this little next bit of the system.
Wake it up. Come on, wake the system up.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And it was, and then the line went up because I'm all for giving the best person a job in life. The commentator, I'm not saying whether she was male or female, but she was a bad commentator. And it came up onside on the little lines and she didn't even mention it. And I was like, is anyone commentating on this game? Then about 40 seconds later, the ref got told. My frustration, what I thought watching that, because I know this is how mad it is. I know it sounds daft. Last week I said, well, maybe West Ham would just go down. After that, I think you'll probably just stay up. That's how it swings. However, I was watching it and I looked at the tactics. You were home to the worst team in the league and they looked very poor. And what I noticed for large spells of the game, especially the first 30 minutes, you let them have the ball and drop so deep.
We do it every single week. Yeah.
And but I thought it was worse than ever, though, Jake. Like the commentators even picked up on it, so the fans are getting annoyed.
It was about 2 minutes before the goal, about 2 or 5 minutes before the goal. I think it was on the right hand side. Kera got it, and there was no options going forward. So he picked it up. He was looking to go forward, came back and passed back to the centre half, and it turned. There was boos as the ball went back to a guard. It was turning.
Like it's Southampton. You're at home. You're against one of the lower teams. You've got for the fans visually. You've got to show a bit more ambition.
Yeah.
Like, and I was watching it thinking, right, if these boys stay up this year, what's going to be the plan next year? Because you've literally regressed so negative. Like it's regressed so much. How do you then turn right? Now we're going to start playing again. It's not easy to turn a team around, but I was watching it and you were just dropping deep and deep and deep. And I actually felt sorry for Danny Ings. He come off. I don't know if you've seen the footage. He was pretty peed off when he come off. Yeah. But he had no supply. He had no supply. There was no one near him. There was no one near him for the whole game. I think you at the bar once or twice. They at the bar, but I noticeably just how much you dropped so deep. And I know I'm not a big fan of this modern press because there's different ways of winning football matches. And if you win, you won. It's great. But at home, you've got 60,000 fans there against a very, very poor side because that was as bad. I've read some Southampton fans today on Facebook. I'm on a few groups of Southampton. They're saying that's the worst Southampton team they've seen in the Premier League. And they've had some bad ones, right? Yeah. Just how deep you dropped and just let them play. And then you got one goal, a great header. But if they would have marked him for that header, and that's a 0-0, imagine that. I don't know. It just seemed like you were just so negative. And it just, if you play, I don't know, even if you played a mid-table side, better mid-side, like Brentford or a Fulham, that teams that can attack you and do well. They had a kid up front who didn't look like he was an under-18 player.
And I think as well, I think as well, when we play Newcastle midweek, I think we can get our point off them. I said that before they went
Yeah,
and beat United yesterday, but we've highlighted it on so many occasions on here that they are quite easy to get a 0-0 draw off of,
yeah.
a 1-1 draw like we did up at St James's Park a couple of months ago. I just want to take some of your comments very quickly because we want to rattle through, because I wouldn't dare steal any time of you watching Tottenham Hotspur, Shaun. So we will.
I got Stella down there. I'm waiting to drink.
Have you? Oh, all right. Are you sure it's not open, ready to go? There it is.
It's open. I had one sip before we started, and I've been resisting it. I don't mind doing the over 18 stuff on your videos.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, I'll have a little sip then.
Here he goes. Right, I'll take some of these comments. I tell you what, you're going to need a few more of them when Shaun Dodge's masterclass comes out and it beat you 1-0.
He'll be late to the bottom job after the game.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right, let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, the VAR had meal drink with the VAR in some sort of corporate area. What I would like to say is, hang on, Shaun, before you go. What I would like to say is, of course, we were, as you noticed, inside one of the boxes yesterday. Huge thank you to Tracy and DT38 for that opportunity yesterday. It was very nice. We walked in, nice program, nice meal, drink voucher. We'll have a bit of that. Padded seat, comfort. You can see Terry down there with all the fans. And it was, it was very, very nice indeed. And we got a nice program full of signatures. I felt like a right, young little lad.
You made it.
Yeah, exactly. Picture of John Monker. Happy days. But yeah, thank you very much, Tracy.
Swindon, John Monker?
He did, yeah. He did. Simon, hello. I am a Brentford fan. A difficult one who's going down. I think it will go down right to the wire. It will. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. James Bong, hope you are all well, my friend. And everybody else having a nice chat to each other. Right then, do you want to talk about Newcastle United before we go?
I missed that game, mate. I was at my lad's game. He kicked off at exactly the same time, but I did hear that Newcastle absolutely battered them. And United, the last 3 games, I think they got 1 point and 9-0 aggregate score, including a 0-0 against Southampton in that. So, and I think they got a brilliant home record, haven't they, United, this season? Yeah. But they've got, got Brentford at home and another tricky one at home on the weekend, which obviously with a couple of their games in hand on Tottenham. But I don't know. Newcastle a bit of form again. You said you've got them at the weekend, is it? You got them
Wednesday.
No, Wednesday. I wouldn't like to call that. Do you know what I mean? They got what I think a lot of the turn. They got this Isaac back, haven't they? Paid a lot of money for him. I think they bought him in January, didn't they? And he got an injury. He's come back in. It's sort of strengthened the squad a little bit. And I could keep banging this drum. I don't think the quality of the Premier League's that brilliant this season. They've got the best defence. If you look at the back 4 on paper, I know it might sound a bit snobby, but you would think, blimey, how's that the best back 4? Fair play to them. United, I think, are badly missing Eriksen and Casemiro. I think Rashford, he's had a little knock, didn't he? I think he only just made the game, to be honest. Missed the England game, didn't he? Yeah. And the thing is, Rashford's goals, he hit this like probably the best spell of his career, has maybe carried him a little bit and maybe glossed over. It's easy for one player's form to gloss over an average team. I had how far back we go in there? When Gareth Bale was on form for Tottenham, he kept AVB in a job. We were awful. He'd get the ball. Remember that world he scored against your light at Upton Park? Yeah. He did about 10 or 11 of them in one season, one player of the year. We were a poor team. Do you know what I mean? It can happen. So I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they finish 5th. But do you know what I mean? It's a bit like the relegation battle. You wouldn't like to call it, really.
It's been a bit of a nightmare. We were listening to this as we were trying to edge past Wembley with about 50,000 Plymouth fans going back down south yesterday, and it was sort of a shock, but not at the same time. And it feel like the sort of unstoppable Man United have now been stopped in a few games, and it's going to be interesting to see what reaction Man United comes up with now. It's going to be interesting Wednesday night to see how Newcastle line up against us. Let's have a little look here. Simon, you're late, but it's okay. Good evening. Potter out. Oh wait, he is out. He is certainly got performed. Brandon, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Jordan as well. Moyes out. You won't be gone to the end of the season now, my friend. he only goes corporate now, Simon. There's just the jealousy coming through. You had the opportunity, Terry, at half time. You could have nipped round, in you go. Free drinks voucher. It is what it is. How the other half live, well, it is what it is, isn't it? Reform branding. Hopefully, there's no issues with the trains on Wednesday and Thursday. It's been a nightmare in 2023. It certainly has. We aren't going to the Newcastle game Wednesday, but we will be up there for the Youth Cup game on Thursday. I'm taking the most out of the Easter holidays, and we'll be taking the trip up for the Youth Cup. So we'll be a vlog and a bit of content surrounding that.
Is that this Thursday, Jake, or next Thursday? This Thursday.
Yeah.
Is it? So we got Premier League Tuesday, Wednesday, then straight into Europe.
Yeah, Europe.
You said UEFA, didn't you?
Youth Cup. Under 18.
Youth UEFA.
Cup. Oh, sorry. Sorry. No, Youth Cup. Yes.
Is that at the London Stadium? Is it? Or
it is. I'm hoping to see some attacking football at the London Stadium for the first time in like 2 years. That's the only reason I'm going. No, so that should be good. Potter is out. He certainly is. So there we go. Anyway, right. Prediction before we go. We've got 4 minutes. So Shaun, you'll need to get yourself mentally prepared. So I'm giving you 1 minute to give me a prediction. Spurs versus Everton. And I'm going to go 1-0 Everton.
Oh, well, that's not a bad bet because obviously they've had freedom in the dice already, as I said before. It's a very, it's one of the hardest results I'm trying to predict all season. So I'm going to bottle it and I'm going to just play it safe and go 1-1 because I think we might take the lead, but our backsides will probably go again. The chance of going third, I think we'll probably crumble a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, though. Like I said, I just no idea how the players are going to react. It's similar sort of team, similar sort of lineup. If the tactics are the same, we're not going to get a lot different. So I'll say 1-0, but obviously you'll probably take 1-0, wouldn't you, as a West Ham fan?
Yeah.
So.
In the grand scheme of things, I could do put a few past them tonight, but I just got a feeling it won't be the case. So, well, to be fair, is it at your place?
No, it's at Everton.
Oh, it's at Everton. I wrote Spurs versus Everton. I don't know why, but yeah. So that gives them the added advantage there, as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting viewing. That's for sure. Get that 4-pack of Stella because you're going to need them, Shaun.
I've only got 2, mate.
I've only got 2.
I'm a good boy. I've got a bottle of rum though if it goes well. if it's 3-0 Everton at half time, we know what Shaun's doing. Oh dear. Let's have a look here. Spurs to win 3-1. Here we go. Right. So this Thursday is Rich going. No, I'm going with Mum. I'm taking Mum. Well, Mum's taking me. But but no, Mum's coming because Dad wouldn't have got a time off work. I got ridiculed yesterday. Everybody, just for a bit of context, I got ridiculed because apparently I didn't invite Dad or Terry. I just booked it with Mum and didn't tell anybody. I got ridiculed, and the funny thing is, neither of them could go anyway. Oh dear. Here we go. Didn't get an invite. There we go. Posh seats are bigger. I've heard it was a nice, robust, comfort seat, front row, which you saw the picture on Twitter if you saw it. Proper job. The view was still bad though. I've been moaning about the view. Posh seats, corporate. You were still almost watching from the Millwall Stadium by the look of it.
It's still quite far away, but we're used to it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Did it when you're in the corporate? Does it actually come with binoculars? Or have you still got to take your own?
No, there's no binoculars there. But we saw a few ex-players. We saw Jared Bowen's missus, Danny Dyer, the woman version of Danny Dyer. We had a carpeted concourse.
Oh, nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah, nice. You've made it.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't get any binoculars. I wanted binoculars with West Ham on them. We didn't get any. Right, we'll leave it there. Just in time. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Official if you are new. Channel sponsors, SRM Carbon and Sun. Check them out by clicking the link in the description down below. Shaun, pleasure as always. Always a good laugh.
And yourself, mate. Good lad.
We will see you very, very soon. From me, come on, you ones. Just beat them tonight, please, Shaun. Just beat them.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully.
See you later. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah.